Now, ladies and gentlemen, your silver medalists, led by co-captains George Jackie and Bruce McDonald, please put your hands together for New Zealand. Number 1 is Peter Walters. Number 2, Jamie Lofiso. Number 3, Shane Foley. Number 5, Patrick Lamb. 6 is Rodney Burke. 7, Greg Milden. 9 is Shane Edwards. 10, Jason Keno. 11, Darren Wright. 12, Tony Wapiri Fororia. Number 13 is Alan Lindstrom. Number 14 is Justin Poihipi. Number 15 is David Gulliver. And number 16, Benjamin Page. The coaching staff, Coach Cliff Formawina and Manager Teresa Peeny. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your gold medalists, Australia, led by Captain David Roberts. Number 1 is Christian Brown. 2, Troy Morgan. 3, Lars Hansen. 4, Wayne Gleason. 5, Anthony Dudek. 6, Tony Altashi. 7, Dean Murphy. 8, Corey McLeod. 10, Scott Danswan. 11, Craig Shara. 12, Gerard O'Keefe. 13, Darren Swain. 14, Philip Jarrett. 15, Kristen Davidson. And 16, Chris Banfield. Coach, Mr. Peter Vincent. Assistant coach, Mr. Peter Shefford. And manager, Lyle Barnwell. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2015 Fit Touch World Cup champions, Australia. Thank you to Mr. Kerry Thompson, Federation of International Touch Life member, for making the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, the finals keep rolling on. Now we have our men's 35's. Please welcome to the stadium our referees Rob Bowen, Ray Cairns and Nathan Budge. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the team from New Zealand, led by Troy Skinner, earning his 50th Test cap here today at the World Cup, leading Team 1. Ladies and gentlemen, number 6, Troy Skinner. The New Zealand team is number 1, Captain Leon Skinner. Number 2 is Darren Robson. 3, Heston Pataka. Number 4, Scott Grant. 5 is Mitchell Seebeck. 7, Eli Thurenbaugh. Number 8, Marcus Durbin. 9, Brendan Stewart. 10 is Craig McCarran. 11, Campbell Buchanan. 12, Wirramoo Richards. 13, Ricky Bess. 14, Corey Trafari. Number 15, Philip Adams. And number 16, Gary Franklin. Coaching staff,
We've bathed in sunlight, which is a difference from what we've had during the week in the lead up with some very heavy rains. Sharing the commentary duties today with Australian Touch Football Hall of Fame legend Darren Shelley. Darren, this game here is one that New Zealand would have penciled in before they left the shores of the long white cloud. They have a very strong lineup and very deserved favourites after their performance earlier in the week against Australia.
Yeah, no, New Zealand have bounced out well in this division. They got over the Australian team 9-4 in the round games, and they are going into this World Cup final as the definite favourites. But Australia, they are certainly not out of this contest. They've played some very, very good quality touch, even though it's been in the wet fields. And it comes down to this one-on-one game and the one-on-one World Cup decider. So we're looking for a good, strong contest here. Both teams are very close in the attacking ability, and there's not much need in the defensive tries that have been let in. So as long as Australia can settle down, get into the groove, and have a good start to the game, it'll put them in good stead.
All right, stand by for the national anthems of both countries. matchup here. Kia ora to our friends across the ditch. I'm sure they're looking forward to this game. I'm sure, like us, this is one that they have probably penciled in as a World Cup victory for New Zealand, given the strength of their team. Darren, my question to you is, given what we've just seen in the men's 40s and Australia, it's the greatest comeback since Kiwi won the Melbourne Cup, what effect does that have on the Australian men's 35's team who go in as underdogs?
Oh, look, it gives them great sense of confidence knowing that they can come in here. It's all about that, you know, that you've got good players around you and you've got to stick to the structures and the patterns that have been put in. You've got to have the confidence on the people outside you. And if you can get off to a good start on these nice firm fields, different conditions that they played New Zealand in on the other day, get a bit of field position, bit of quality ball, start to move the New Zealand defence around, get an early try on the board, it'll give them the most amount of confidence and then they can continue on with the game.
Well, they certainly are going to have to fix their defence from when they first played New Zealand. New Zealand exposed a lot of holes in the Australian defence. And I'm sure both teams were holding a little bit back in attack. But you just look at the New Zealand lineup and you've got the two Skinner boys, you've got Ricky Best there. They're going to be hard to stop.
Oh, exactly. Australia's going to have to be at their best here. Every person's going to have to play close to 100% to get this World Cup victory.
All right, New Zealand with the ball, and it's the 7. Dunball who drives forward now, and Skinner. That's Troy Skinner making his 50th appearance World Cup for New Zealand, and they're in early. New Zealand straight off the tap with the sweeper play around the back to Mitchell Seebeck, and New Zealand up 1 and in a blink of an eye.
Wow, what a start there to New Zealand. They've continued on from the round game. Big, wide, sweeping play there. Caught the Australian defence a little bit flat-footed. It all looked a bit too easy, but let's see if Australia can bounce back very quickly.
All right, so Australia with the ball. They're attacking. They're into the red zone. Got the ball out there. Johnson with the ball. This is back inside. Wilbo will look to control play. Again, Johnson, and they come with the rooster play short. They're looking wide. Oh, and there is a heavy touch from New Zealand. The referees have said it's all okay. Johnson, he's thrown it to his mother in the crowd. Nothing happening last touch. Just get their defensive line set. And again, shades of the way the men's 40s, the men's 40s started, Darren, with Australia playing not the traditional running game, but a little bit slow tempo.
Yeah, Australia have just got to play their natural game here, and we saw in the last game that the 40s just won the Australian victory the 40 just had. Once they started to move the ball and change the defensive patterns of the New Zealand team, it certainly gave them a lot of inroads in and gave them more opportunities, and that's how Australia won the last game. I think it's got to continue here. We can't just play the static game up the middle.
All right, you can see New Zealand pressing forward hard in defence to try and trap Australia. And now through for him, Australia drive forward. There's the 16 for Australia, Franklin. He's found now out. Sorry, not Franklin, it's Jakarta. And there's Clark. Clark is found. The big number 2, Shannon. Long ball back across the ruck to Davies. Davies, a long ball from Australia, but nothing. Tarlington on that wing, nothing really happening. Although not a bad set to start off as New Zealand now drive out from their line. One thing about the Kiwis in this division, they do drive the ball well downfield. They recognise the fact the more opportunities they get to be camped on any opposition's line, the more opportunities with their attacking weapons they're going to have to score. There's Skinner, he drops the ball down, and that's Seebeck once again. He drops it back inside to Skinner. And those two forming a dominant partnership early in the game.
Let's see how Australia settle out here. Good hard settle there by Shannon. He certainly won't take a backward step to the opposition, but Australia need to take some control here.
And New Zealand now drives, absorbing the Australian attack. The ball in the hands of Martin. Martin looking, getting down in front. And the New Zealand defence shooting up again.
Geez, that was very quick defence there from New Zealand. I'm not sure if he was onside or not, but the decision's been made. And there's a turnover now by New Zealand and Australia back on attack.
The fact that Skinner was onside, it's one of the strengths of his game, that defensive shooting up.
15 offside. No, now.
Australia now probing the New Zealand line, slowing it up, trying to bring the Kiwis out. It's in the hands of Martin, drops it back inside to Feldman. Now in the hands of Powell. Powell finds Irvine. Irvine back in the hands of Martin. Martin trying to slip through the defence, but the New Zealand defence holds steady.
Easy touch, boys.
Martin shifts the ball across. That's Irvine now.
Boys here, they come forward. Play on.
Here they come with a sweep play back to the right, the Australians. And there's they've dropped the ball, but I think Skinner was going to make the touch anyway. New Zealand drive off their line.
Australia created an opportunity there and started moving the New Zealand defence around.
Yep, they had started better than they started in the round games, Darren. And they just tidy up their defence a little bit, and they will be in this game. 4.5 gone. New Zealand lead 1 touchdown to 0. Once again probing, but that was good defence from Australia. And Corey to where he can't actually hold the ball. Irvine at half for him, brings it back into play. It's with him now, he drives forward. Irvine finds Feldman. Feldman driving forward. There's a bit of a mess in the ruck.
He's still in the ruck, mate. He can't play the ball.
And the correct penalty there from the referee. In the ruck. Australia looking to get substitutions made now. Taylor coming on. So is Wilbo. Chicano with the ball. Wilbo at half. With 10 in with Johnson with the ball at the left link.
Short link, short.
Shift it back to the middle. Wilbo just driving in now. Johnson looking to go out of half. A clean scoop. He's on a good line. They're looking for second phase. And another penalty. Johnson trying to influence the referee, but the referee will have none of that. And it's a second penalty to Australia for in the ruck. That was a well-constructed attacking play.
Yeah, that's what Australia have got to do. They've got to continue that style of play. They look very strong while they're doing that.
Ball in the hands of Stewart now.
Let's go forward, boys, forward.
And they've slowed it down, the Australians.
Forward.
All the way.
Stewart is off to Chicano. Stewart out of half. He finds Wilbo. Wilbo looking long. There's a chance out wide for Australia. And they've stepped inside. The Australians are claiming that.
No, he said no, yes, boys. He said no.
What's the referee ruled here?
Late pass in there.
Well, he must have refereed. Yeah, late pass he's called. So.
I think he's called a late pass on the link as the link stepped back inside. Drew Davies stepped back on the inside to throw the ball to the winger, but I think the New Zealand defenders called the touch and the penalty has been given.
New Zealand working it off their line now. They've done this pretty easily so far. There's a good wrap around. They're just driving. They get into the Australian half now.
4 middle here. 7. Now.
Oh, that was Grant. He's found Richards. Richards rolls and goes off, and then Robson, he just takes it out. They just work that set of 6 for field position, hoping to force a change over here on the Australians as they look to drive forward. Chicano, the little man, Pumper as they call him, doing Wilbo's at half. And the Australians now inside New Zealand. They shift the ball off to Clark. Clark finds Martin. Clark out of half this time. He finds Warren. Warren brings it back in the middle of the field. They'll be looking to get down for Clark. Clark out of half. They're going the short side. There's nothing really on there. I think they're far better early on, testing the New Zealanders back to the open side. Very comfortable defensively on that short side on that occasion, Darren.
Yeah, as we saw in the game before, New Zealand do seem to defend well on the short side. I think Australia's strength and where they can catch the New Zealanders out on the open side, as you mentioned, Dean. But certainly with the sweeping plays or the long balls to the long side is the way to go.
Still 1-0 to New Zealand. 7 minutes 30 gone in this game so far. Australia forced a turnover in the New Zealand half, and they're just sitting there playing now. Warren, he finds Clark. Clark down, Warren at half. He comes back to the right. He brings Martin in on the switch. Martin down. They've gone the long ball, which we were talking about earlier. Clark steps 1, he steps 2, he gets the ball down. Warren gives it back to Clark. He goes to Martin. Martin dives, but well read from New Zealand. Great diving defence there from Seabeck, and he's had a whale of the game early on. Here's Warren, he dives down. Clark again, going with the short ball. That was a long ball to the wing. Might have been the better play, but New Zealand now driving off their line. Unusually for a New Zealand team driving towards the Australian box rather than their own as they start to make their way across field now. And that's Dorenball who's got the ball. He drops it down, and Philip Adams comes out of half. back inside to Durham ball again, but a mistake at the roll ball. And that's the last 2 sets. The New Zealanders have made a mistake and given it back to Australia in good field position.
You know, Australia have done a great job here to get back and hold this game. After the start they had with the try from the first tap off, Australia now got into the grind and they're matching it with New Zealand, and they're certainly getting the field position at this stage. Let's hope that they can capitalise on this and get the scoreboard back to a draw.
It's with Martin. He drops it back inside to Feldman. Feldman off to Brent Powell. Feldman down for Martin. Off to Powell on the long ball. He's looking to switch back. I think having good defence from New Zealand. Martin again. They continue the short side. Now Powell changed direction. Ambitious pass there. He had to throw that about 35 metres, and the New Zealand defence more than equal to it, and the pass falls short. Anyway,
it wasn't a very good build-up there from Australia. They didn't look very patient there and move the defence area, but they are in this game. Whatever they hold the New Zealand team in this position, the confidence is going to grow for the Australian team.
That's right, and now New Zealand into the Australian half. Down for Skinner. Skinner took it back inside, and that ball was down, but they had created numbers on the right-hand side of the field for New Zealand, and they do look dangerous every time they get into the red zone.
They're very powerful running machines, this New Zealand. They are pure athletes. Everyone's a strong runner and everyone knows their job.
A lot of them still play together too in this team up on the Gold Coast. So Australia now into the New Zealand half. The ball in the hands of Johnson. Johnson just fading across. Here's Australia. They find they're going long this time. They're going to look to dump it back inside. The drop down was there. But that's 6 touches. There's an opportunity there with those long bombs to hit the wing to drop it straight back inside to the link if the link trails down.
Yeah, they've just got a couple of loopy passes happening there, unfortunately, for the Australian team. Shannon Warren, I think, is the person that's got to throw that long ball. He's very good out of the dummy half, throws a good direct ball, and that might, with the less time of the ball in the air, could give the Australians a better opportunity to get a touchdown.
New Zealand restart with a penalty on their own 10. They're straight away up to halfway. And here they come again, the Kiwis. They're on the Australian 10. Driving down here, and Grant out of half. He just pulls it up slightly. He takes off again from half. They look for the switch back. And what the Australian defence, they've caught Chris Johnson out there ball watching. And it's that number 5 again, Mitchell Seaback, who scores virtually in the same position he scored their first touchdown, just off a different play.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for Chris Johnson. He just got caught ball watching a little bit. The Australian defensive line was looking all right then, but very, very good structured play from the New Zealand attacking side. And they go to 2-0 lead.
Still 8 minutes 20 to go in the first half. New Zealand lead, 2 touchdowns to 0. And now Australia into the attacking zone. Johnson with the ball. He's going to be working out there with Clark. Clark at half. He hits Warren. Warren looking long. There is a great hole. A great hole from Australia. And it's number 8, Brad Mitchell, who just strolls through. That was a far better setup from the Australians, Darren, and gets them straight back into the game.
Yeah, no, well done, Shannon Warren. He's the man to go to. He certainly is a smart player. He knows he's touch football, and he's set up a great try assist there with a great finish there for Australia, and that's a great hit back. 2-1 to New Zealand. 8 minutes until half-time.
Important defensive set here for Australia, and conversely, an important attacking set for New Zealand. There's Skinner now with the ball in his hands. He drops down for the best of half. These two look to combine together.
Here at the touch again.
Here's Skinner from Skinner, and it's all the Skinners, but that was a great touch coming in there by Drew Davies.
Blake, we take it forward here, boys.
Probably practiced that plenty of times back home in New Zealand, the Skinner boys. Dangerous here for Australia. The two Skinners are best on the field at the same time.
Good here, Brock, good here.
5.
Troy this time now. Leonard gets through the line.
6.
Play made by Australia. There's a bit of push and shove, and the referees are okay with that. But Australia making the touch.
Well, this is great for Australia. You can see a little bit of frustration coming in from New Zealand here because they weren't New Zealand weren't expecting the scoreline of this stage of the game. So Australia can grow with confidence and let the frustration happen for New Zealand. And hopefully this runs in favour for the Australian team.
Martin now driving it out. He's picked up Irvine. Irvine drives. Drew Davies. This is an Australian driving game that we've come to expect. Now they bring Feldman back onto the field. Davies will be down from Feldman, 15 out. Feldman takes off on the last. He looks long and very long, and the pass doesn't hit the mark. And again, a changeover, but not a bad set from Australia, getting the ball and giving it back to New Zealand on their own line.
Yeah, great set from Australia there. Even though they didn't end up scoring a touchdown, they've gone the full length of the field, and they're starting to show New Zealand that they've got different styles of game, and that they're going to have to be on their game to hold them there.
Here come New Zealand now. They're driving the ball well downfield. They make the Australian halfway line now. And that was through McHerron. And here come New Zealand off the drive. They're looking long. They've created numbers, but the Australian defence, they get out there. Yes, they do. And unlucky. I'll tell you what, that was Mitchell Seaback again. He tried a little flick back inside. He's having a great game.
Well, isn't this great to see? That's two length of the field sets from both teams in these beautiful conditions. Nice firm ground. The groundsmen, the council from Coffs Harbour should be all congratulated with the rain that we've had this week to have the fields in these conditions so we can see good quality touch football as it should be.
And certainly I echo those words, Darren, as Australia move into the New Zealand half. That's they've got the ball in Warren's hands. They've got Johnson in there. He'll have it now. Be looking to bring Clark in as he runs the outline, and then but New Zealand well read. They come in and take the intercept. And they'll start to work it off their own line. They're just driving down the field. It's way that New Zealanders like to play. Get it down, although that's a bit sloppy there. They like to be a lot cleaner in their roll balls. Bringing fresh troops on now. Happy to close it down, New Zealand, and just take it over the field.
Good defensive set there from Australia, getting the ball turned over just 10 metres into their own half. This will give them a good opportunity to have a couple of different opportunities to set some plays up for the Australian team.
And that's a good drive from Mitchell, but unfortunately Warren not right, what we call up his backside to be there, so the ball just had little downtime. Irvine, he finds Johnson. Johnson slowing it down. He looked to release Irvine out of the half. He hits Warren on what we call a rooster. The long ball out, but the referees have already picked up a ruling there, and it was an incorrect roll ball, I think, is what the referees have ruled. A changeover to New Zealand.
That looked very promising for Australia there. It's certainly the play and the style that they've got to run against this New Zealand defensive line to keep the scoreline ticking over for them.
4 minutes to go in the first half. New Zealand lead Australia 2 touchdowns to 1 in what's been a tight affair, probably tighter than many expected. Here goes New Zealand with the ball. And well read defensively by Adam Fahim as he comes in and he shut down the 15, Troy Clark for New Zealand.
Here's the touch. 15 offside, no 15 length.
Warren now driving the ball forward.
Stay, Rob.
All the way. Good.
That's a good drive there again.
15, thank you.
Now Jacano on. He's off to Feldman. Jacano out of half, back to Feldman again. They're driving down. They give it out to Davies at the link. He drops it back inside to Feldman. Davies hits Jacano. Look at him. Jacano loses his footing there. And unfortunate. But again, the defensive structure from New Zealand very solid. New Zealand coming downfield now. And it's a bit of an arm wrestle at the moment. Both teams still testing each other out, and credit to New Zealand, they probably came in this game trying not to think of an easy victory, but it would have been in the back of their minds. But they're in the arm wrestle, and here goes Skinner again, and he's been very dangerous since every time he's on there. Seaback again, and he has been very dangerous for New Zealand. He scored 2, and he's nearly set up 2.
This game could come down to fitness in the last part of the second half. This field has been used all over by both teams. It's going from end to end. It's a massive crowd starting to roll in here at Coffs Harbour Stadium, and they're all enjoying it, and we've had good quality touch, and let's hope that continues.
There's Martin on a good drive, releasing Powell into the hole. Back to Martin, but again, they keep coming back to the short side, and New Zealand defence is just sitting on that every single play. Well, they come out now, and here's Seaback at half. He's trying, he'll get off now. You can see the New Zealanders coming in with 2 to go. They lead 2-1. And a 2-1 scoreline at half time might actually have the Australian bench a lot more happy than New Zealand. Oh no, they're through here this time. And that was Leon Skinner, sorry, and he was through
Well, hasn't he got some pace? Leon Skinner.
He has got some acceleration, but the referees ruled that the Australian defence was onside. A little bit of physicality coming into the game, nothing too over the ordinary. Martin now dishes back off to Feldman, and he's looking back to Martin. There's Feldman again. He's been in everything so far for Australia. Johnson looks to find Martin, but the New Zealand wingers, they're reading the play every time. I think the Australians need to look at their way. They're sequencing their play and try and set New Zealand up. New Zealand make the half now, bringing fresh troops on.
No, get to him, mate.
They haven't made as much ground the last couple of sets, New Zealand, and other than dashes from half with their blinding acceleration. And here's a chance. They've gone wide. They must score! That is a dead set touchdown gone begging with 30 seconds left in play. Campbell Buchanan had the line wide open. He only had to catch the ball, Darren. He could have sat down, had a picnic and got up and still had time to score. And that could be interesting at the back end of the game with New Zealand only one. Australia coming out of the drive. It's a great long ball. And that is a 2-touchdown turnaround, although no, the referees have ruled it forward. But it's great play from Australia off the back of the driving roll. That could have been a 2-touchdown swing.
Oh, very unfortunate for both sides there. That's very unfortunate as the half-time hooter goes.
That's a hooter, that's a hooter.
And we're at half-time now. The referees have called half-time. It's 2-1 to New Zealand. And it's an arm wrestle that many were expecting, I believe, Darren.
Isn't this a great position for Australia with the round game that they had, where New Zealand beat them by 9 touchdowns to 4. Australia are going to have a good talk here in this huddle. Everything's going to be confident, and they're going to come out here, and they've got nothing to lose in this second half. Well done, Australia.
And the Kiwi boys, they're still would still be favourites?
I think, yeah, at this stage, the Kiwis would still have to be favourites. There is a little bit of a discussion going on out here in the middle of the field with the New Zealand captain and the referees, so it certainly shows that frustration is coming into this game at the moment.
And we'll be back at CX Stadium here in beautiful Coffs Harbour shortly.
Holiday memory. Go to legendarycoffscoast.com.au.
Good health and great fitness are just two of the reasons why I played NRL. There's also the excitement of a game, believing in your team, time with mates, and of course, having fun. And they're all reasons why it's great to get behind your NRL team. Round 3 of the NRL Telstra Premiership starting Friday, March 20 is Play NRL. So come to a game and help us celebrate the important role of coach, player, referee, referee, trainer and volunteer at every level plays in making NRL such a big part of our lives.
Second half of the men's 35's World Cup final. Surprising scoreline at halftime, Darren Shelley. New Zealand 2, Australia 1. And I say surprising because many were expecting New Zealand to run away with this game.
Well, yeah, in the round games, New Zealand did run away 9-4 victory. Australia are in a great position here. This is something that the New Zealand team wouldn't have thought was happening at this stage of the game. Australia's got the tap off here. Let's get down there, put some pressure on them, even the scoreline up, and see what we can go do from there.
All right, so we're just waiting for the game to recommence. Australia 20 minutes to get back into this game. New Zealand 20 minutes to try and win the World Cup. It'll be Warren who'll tap off for Australia. They've got the lineup of Davies, Irvine.
Aren't these great conditions, Dean? The field and the weather and
surprising, they're great, but surprising given the amount of rain. Anyway, that's Mitchell who gets us going now. Fahim at half, Mitchell takes it down. They're 15 out from New Zealand line. Byron, he shifts across to Davies. They look to hit Irvine. And that was run the play, but the New Zealand defensive structure once again stepping up into the channels and thwarting the Australian attack. Davies, he gets it down now for Warren. Warren hits Irvine, he'll go long this time, it's short inside, Mitchell takes it. That is a touchdown, Australia. He juggled that, Darren Shelley, but he kept control and got it down.
Oh, magnificent hands there. That was a real great work there by the Australian.
Yeah, but it was Brad Mitchell there.
Brad Mitchell, sorry. Brad Mitchell, great job there. He hit the hole, got in behind the defender there, juggled the ball, had to go looking for it, pulled it in, and the referees awarded the try. 2-2, great start to the second half, Australia. Well done.
Yes, a great double in the World Cup finals to Brad Mitchell. 2-2 now, but here come the Kiwis, and it's through the number 5. And of course, that's Mitchell Seabeck. He had a great first half. Seabeck, he gives it on to Dorenball. Dorenball down. In comes Skinner with that acceleration around on the sweep, but the Australian defence holds solid this time. Skinner brings it back into play. And did they get across? Claiming the touch, but the ball is down. And unfortunately, that's a soft touchdown, Darren.
Australia have done a lot of work at the start of that second half, and to go down there and have a touchdown scored against them on the 5th touch. Yes, it was a little bit soft, but the Australians have still got confidence in them.
Yeah, they did all the hard work, and Feldman just getting a little bit lazy on the open side of the ruck. Anyway, Martin now with the ball. He drives it down, they brought it to the sideline, drops it back into Friedman. That's Phil Clark with the ball. Back to Pumper.
Forward, boys, forward.
Across to Martin, Wilbo. Wilbo looking to take him short. Had Martin going back on the inside, but the touch is made.
Winger, let's go forward, please.
Long ball out to Clark. Australian slowing down again. Brought it back into Wilbo. Wilbo looking for Powell out of half. Powell hits Clark long. They're trying to get it. Is the inside? That is a great play from Australia. And that's the sequencing we talked about earlier. Nathan Martin off a beautiful inside pass off Clark. They set that up well.
That was great play by Australia, and that's what we've been talking about, that they need to stretch the New Zealand defensive line, and that was very well constructed. Good job, Australia.
17 minutes to play, and the World Cup is tied up at 3 apiece. New Zealand now, Skinner, he finds Grant. Grant drops it back inside to Javan. It's in the hands of Grant. Grant down, and here goes Seabeck. He finds Grant. Grant will dive. He's dropped the ball. Just couldn't get the pass away to Troy Skinner, who was in a gaping hole for New Zealand. Australia now need to work it off their line. As they come the ball in the hands of Warren, he'll drive to the box to get some fresh troops on. There's for him. He's down for the 2 touchdown scorer so far. Chicano's on the field now. And Australia drive into the line. It's the last touch for him. Puts the gas burners on. He's nearly through. He is through. He's looking for an inside player. But no, the referee has called that the touch was made. He's penalised Australia for running on.
Very unfortunate there for Australia. There was a good opportunity, but gee, the Australians are starting to look very strong early in the second half.
New Zealand working out their line now. There's the 12 for New Zealand. Richards, haven't seen him much in the game so far. And that's set complete there for the acting half being caught. Here come Australia again, working out of their own half. Chicano, they find Johnson. Johnson driving forward, he makes the half. And back inside to now the 6 Feldman. Davies picks up Chicano on the inside, but no half for Australia.
This is where Australia's breaking down. We've got to keep the continual pressure on the New Zealand defensive line.
Dean Taylor, there's a good ball from Johnson, and they found the hole. Australia are taking the lead for the first time today, and a shell-shocked New Zealand and a shell-shocked Dean Russell, because I thought New Zealand had run away with this.
Well, Christopher Johnson, great play. He's come straight out of dummy half. He's made the defensive line have to make a decision. He's thrown the long ball, and a great hole there for Australia, and they lead for the first time. Well done.
All right, so New Zealand with the ball. Moving it into the Australian half now between Adams and here comes Skinner out of the half. He finds Adams long on the slide, and they get the ball in, and New Zealand score this time. And Darren Robson hits that hole, and a similar touchdown to what Australia scored earlier. And again, Australia's defence out wide, Darren. Just need to get across and sharpen up.
Yeah, they're very, very quick, these New Zealand. This New Zealand team, they've got a big sweeping back line, and they've got plenty of pace, and Australia just need to move a little bit quicker in that defensive line. But still, Australia in a very strong position here.
Are they as quick as you and I in their heydays?
Only when the video is on 2 or 4 or 8 speed.
Australia spilled the ball now, New Zealand. They brought it back to 4-all. 14 minutes left to play. And they drive downfield through Grant into the hands of Seabeck, and he's been best so far, and he's taken Australia on the line. He's back into the half. He finds Grant. Grant will drive down. Seabeck will take off here. He's taking off on Feldman. They're looking long. Well read Australia defensively.
Good defence there from Australia. Slid well in that line then.
Yeah, the big boy from the ACT. Dean Taylor sliding out well there. Australia now looking to move it and drive it towards their box for him. They need to be clean in the roll balls and start to build momentum down the field. Warren.
I still think Shannon Warren is the go-to man here for Australia. He's very, very strong in the ruck area. Throws a great ball, and he's got a very smart brain on him, as I said before. I still think he's the man that's going to get Australia over the line.
Feldman drops it back inside to Irvine. He's out of half. He looks for Irvine again. He's found him. Irvine comes back to the middle of the field. It's not probably the best set of Australia. They've given the ball back about 20 metres out from the New Zealand line. They'd like to be giving it to them right on the line, so eliminating the amount of shots the New Zealand team can have. And Skinner, the captain, drives it forward, and there's a bit of run on now, and that was best. He got caught up in the ruck. And here goes the 8, Gervin, and ball's free, a bit messy there.
New Zealand have got to get back into their patterns. They're just off the boil here, and not everything's going their way at the moment. It's leading to a bit of frustration. The Australians are doing a good job forcing that pressure onto the New Zealand team. Down with 13 minutes to go, Australia receive a penalty.
Yeah, and I think the Australians are actually frustrating the New Zealanders somewhat in the way that they're playing. Anyway, Irvine brings the ball forward, Feldman at the half. He finds Davies. Davies has been good so far for Australia. Irvine, they just need more continuity and more momentum in the drive. This is better now as Irvine brings it into the New Zealand half. Tarlington, but there's a penalty here, and we'll see what that's for. Forward pass off the ruck. That's very unusual in this day and age. The referee would pick up a forward pass off the ruck.
Good decision there from the referee.
Yeah, it was forward. It was forward. They just usually let them go. But anyway, the ball now. New Zealand. They find Robson, bringing it back in. He'll get it down for Grant. Grant back to Robson. Robson looks back inside to Grant. Well read from foot. And New Zealand, that's a touchdown. They created the numbers for him not being able to get in there quickly enough, and they've taken back the lead, 5-4, with 11 and a half to play.
Well, that's come. Australia have lost their momentum here a little bit, and that's come from 2 changeovers around the halfway line where New Zealand have been able to build some pressure. So Australia got to get back to that hard drive and get field position and give themselves opportunities down on the trial line. Every time they've been there, they've come up with a good so far. So that's what they've got to get back to.
Chicano brings it forward. Johnson in half, and there's an error. And Australia can't afford to be giving New Zealand the ball back in this field position. Skinner, the captain, he takes it forward. And now Dorenball for New Zealand. That's Troy Skinner in half this time. Both Skinner boys on the field. That could be dangerous. Both Skinner boys and Subeck on the field. This could be dangerous for Australia. And that's an incorrect roll ball, the referee said, and a change over to Australia. Chicano brings it off his line. And it's getting a bit messy in the roll balls. The referee's starting to take control, as they should.
Yeah, I think both teams are showing a little frustration here that neither team can put either team away on the scoreboard. So the pace needs to slow down a bit, become patient, grind away, get into a good opportunity, and get some results.
Warren drives forward into the New Zealand half, and again getting held up in the roll ball. No continuity of play for the Australians. That's what's going on at the moment. Johnson this time. He gives it off to Mitchell. Mitchell, the 2-try hero for Australia, finds Warren. Warren long, out to Taylor. Taylor back inside to Johnson. The Australians are calling for 6 more. The referee has called correctly, because that's happening right in front of us, Darren. Even though the New Zealanders touched it, the ball had gone forward first, and a correct decision by the referee.
But it just shows how good Australia are playing once they get on that roll on and start to move the New Zealand defence around.
New Zealand walking over now. It's in the hands of Seabeck. Seabeck is always dangerous. He's created all sorts of dramas for Australia today as Dorenball brings the ball forward. It's in the hands of Best now. He drops it off. He'll be looking to go from half. Best. Sorry, that's Grant, and Grant's looking for half. And Dean Taylor takes the intercept. And out they come, Australia, off their own line, through Clark.
10 offside, 10.
Warren, once again, he's got to start playing the game and stop worrying about what the defence is doing. Get the ball down early. If you stand upright, son, they're going to shove you up all day long. Australia with Martin. It's the last touch, and again, another disappointing set from the Australians.
Yeah, no, that settling set there broke down with Shannon trying to get the penalty there. They just need to drive in, let the referee control the game. If a penalty's given, a penalty's given. If not, just complete the set.
Skinner drives into the Australian half now. They're slowing it up, New Zealand. Troy Skinner. He drives down Leon Skinner out of half, that explosive pace. They're looking for the second phase. New Zealand. Robson with the ball at link. I thought he should have probably given it straight to his winger and at least had an opportunity to score. I'm not saying they would have scored, but at least an opportunity. Australia now coming out through Martin, driving down the field.
16,
across now in Irvine's hands. Tarlington moves it on to Martin. Martin drops it back inside. They're not really getting the momentum forward. Australia, they need to come off the back of the drive. This time they're down, and that's better with the pumper, the little man. He's got through, he's looking inside. Nathan Martin unmarked, but the referee is going to call it back and say that there was a touch made, so it's a late pass. New Zealand off the hook as they come out off their own line. The skipper doing the right thing by New Zealand. He's made 15 metres on that drive, but he's also trying to referee the game. I think both teams just need to let the men in white look after that.
Oh, yeah, he's had a very strong game, though, Leon Skinner. He's led right from the front. But both sides have to just worry about playing their game and let the referees control the middle of the game.
Grant down for Subeck. He's the danger man for mine. And just unlucky there, the pass falling out of the hands of Tuaweri. Anyway, the Australians, they come forward now. Tarlington with the ball, trying to work to the box to get fresh troops on. They picked up a penalty. This is an opportunity for Australia. They're one behind on the scoreboard with 7 minutes to go. They're getting to set of 6 in not bad field position. They need to get the ball, drive it down to the line. Feldman with the ball. He shifts it across to Davies. Davies gets out in front of Taylor. Taylor to Davies. He drops it back inside to Taylor. There's Feldman. That's a good run. And then for Davies, and they've got the numbers wide. Tarlington comes in, but great defence from New Zealand. I'd like to see the Australian wingers, so it was for him, I'd like to see the Australian wingers in a bit tighter and running the outline rather than having to come into the ball.
At least Australia's giving themselves an opportunity there.
Oh,
that was off the mark.
Oh, I'm not sure. It was nearly... Anyway, New Zealand driving forward now. There's Grant. He gives it on to the 9. And that's Stewart. Stewart gets the ball down. New Zealand bringing fresh troops on.
10 at the touch. 10, 10, 6.
Right, they're fine. Gervin this time.
Now.
On New Zealand, nearly forced the opportunity there through Adams sliding across the field. He nearly finds that man Seabeck and also Darren Robson, who's had a good game too. Clark brings it forward for Australia. Feldman now. And that's an error from Australia. They can ill afford New Zealand with 6 touches starting on the Australian 10.
Yeah, let's not hope that that's a costly turnover for Australia here.
Smart coaching here from New Zealand. He's got Robson on. They bought Seabeck off, but they bought Leon Skinner on.
8, here, 8, keep coming.
Just looking to set the Australians up here. Ball in their hands. He drives down. Here comes Skinner on the sweep. He's looking to go back to against the ruck. They're going on that, and that is a really well constructed touchdown. They're looking to play second phase, and that's a 2-touchdown break in favour of New Zealand with only 5 to go. No, the referee, what's the referee? Referee's ruled forward pass. They're in the better vantage point from us down there. It was really well constructed.
Oh, that's magnificent play there. That's that man again that we keep talking about, Leon Skinner. The pass all looked good from here, but the referees have called it forward. That might be the lucky break that the Australian team needs to move down the field, leaving this game up.
Australians need to get back. In the last 5 minutes of the first half, they really went to a run and driving game, and they got on top of New Zealand. That's what they need to get back to here. Robson with the ball from New Zealand. He looks to drive forward. It's in the hands of Grant. He's going forward. He's got Skinner underneath him. That's Troy Skinner. He finds Robson sweeping around. Robson down for Campbell. Campbell brings it back inside to Stewart. Stewart driving forward. New Zealand looking to have at least one shot here. Bucking down in front of Tuari. Tuari dummies in throws and he finds an open player. Number 5. Who do you think that might be? It's Seabeck for his 3rd in the World Cup final. And now New Zealand are out to a 2-touchdown lead.
Well, if New Zealand do go on to win this game, I would like to be the person picking man of the match, because New Zealand have had some very good players all over the park. But that was a very well constructed try there. Australia is still in this game. There's still 4 minutes to play. So they have to get a quick touchdown here, get some more field position. It's not over yet.
They're really catching Australia out in line with smart second phase play, not trying to score on the first option, but look to get the clean ball down and score on the second. And here comes Warren. The other half, he's looking for Johnson.
Their second phase play has been very strong for New Zealand.
And he found Jacano that time, running into the link hole. Warren back into Johnson, another great pass. Warren again, he's gone long this time. Inside to Jacano from Taylor. The ball's gone to the ground. And New Zealand will take the changeover on their 5-metre line. They bring it forward now through Stewart. And here's the 12 being Richards. Back inside to Ricky Best as they look to get off. And there's Richards again, and they'll bring fresh troops on now, New Zealand. They've got Skinner and Grant waiting for the ball out wide. And there's the centre 6, not a great centre 6, but they did get fresh troops on.
No, it's coming down to a bit of Australia going to have to start to push the ball now to get these 2-try deficit back. They're very capable of it, but they're going to have to start to throw a bit of caution at them.
Yeah, they're playing the clock now with only 2.5 to go for Australia and 2 touchdowns behind. Johnson, he gets off to Feldman. Feldman back to Fahim. He's got Johnson going around in the sweep. They've got numbers if they can use it. Australia, Drew Davies looking wide. They've looked for the phase. And Drew Davies will score. And they'll get it back in. And they're 1 down. They had the opportunity if he hadn't thrown long, but smartly played the second phase, Drew Davies, and gets the reward with the touchdown. New Zealand 6, Australia 5. 2 minutes to play.
Well, this is a big set here. This set here is the World Cup for the 35's division. If Australia can hold them out, they still have the opportunity to go down the field and score a try and bring it to the floor. if they can't hold it out, then New Zealand grab an extra touchdown. I think it might be just out of the Australians' grasp to win this.
Are we going to go to 2 drop-offs in a row, Darren?
Oh, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. The crowd deserves it. This game deserves it. Australia's put in a phenomenal effort after the round game. This is probably one of the most favourite divisions for New Zealand to win.
And there's an intercept by Tarleton. Australia need to go the length of the field. 1:30 to play. It's in the hands of Clark. Clark gets it down. And now the drive coming through the little man, Pumper. Pumper drives it downfield. There's Brent Powell.
Come on, Australia.
And Australia going through the line now. Martin's on the field. He gets it down for Wilbo. Wilbo looking long for Clark. Clark throws it out to Fahim, and he can't get the ball down, but that's a great set from the Australians.
Still plenty of time here for Australia. If they can get a quick change over here or hold them at halfway, they're still going to get one set of 6 to go just to draw this game up. Very exciting here.
New Zealand got numbers. The ball in the hands of Stewart. He finds the captain, Skinner, and he's been outstanding. Stewart with the ball. They're driving it down. They've got fresh troops on. Here's Troy Skinner. The danger man, Seabeck's going to go from half. He's taking on from half. He's on the short side. He's through the line, but well read. Shannon Warren picks the touch. Australia, with 36 seconds to go, have to go the length of the field to score, to take it to a drop-off. Here goes Martin. He drives down. He's got Clark in half. There's a penalty.
Oh, big penalty.
They're going to piggyback down. They've got to get their guns on now. Coach Jenkins needs to get his speed man on.
They've probably got 3 or 4 touches.
There's Clark and Feldman working together. Here comes Johnson. Here comes Davies. They're moving it around. There's 15 seconds to play. Johnson looks at the clock. He gets it back inside the Clark. Johnson out of half. He hits Feldman. Feldman goes long. Out to Tarleton, but the New Zealand defence has covered that up. And that ball's away. Johnson's got it. He's looking wide. Here he goes. And the goal for him has not been able to take it. That's a penalty and it's all over. New Zealand have won the men's 35's World Cup. In the dying seconds, an opportunity for Australia, and for him not able to take the pass. And congratulations, New Zealand, the world champions in the men's 35 division, 6 touchdowns to 5. Darren.
Oh, well, what an exciting finish of the game. Congratulations to New Zealand, well-deserved world champions. But I really want to congratulate the Australian effort. They weren't given much opportunity or much hope of winning this division with the way the round game went, but Australia should be very proud of yourselves. You've really given New Zealand a great challenge there. I think that is really good to see, a good exciting touch right down to the wire, and the games could only get stronger as the World Cup goes on, I suppose, but congratulations to both teams. That was a very, very good high quality game.
Yeah, congratulations to New Zealand. They have been the best team throughout the rounds. Won a World Cup. Many of these players in this division have played men's open for New Zealand. They've come close on many occasions to winning a World Cup in that division, but never been able to gain it. You can just have a look at the shots on screen now, how much it means to these guys. They don't care if it's men's 35s or men's open. They're champions of the world. They deserved champions of the world. Played very well on the back of their captain, Leonard Skinner. His Troy Skinner as well. But for mine, Darren, I thought the player that caused Australia most problems was the number 5, Mitchell Seabeck. For mine, he would get my best player.
I think you're exactly right there, Dean. I think the 3 of them had great games, but I think Mr. Seabeck's going to sleep very well tonight. He's done a mountain of work out there today, and I think that it's just very well deserved. New Zealand, they played a very, very good game. It got a little bit to and fro in that mid part of that second half, but they dug in deep, they stayed, they worked hard, and they got their victory in the end. But it was just a great quality game of touch football, end to end, and it was very exciting.
Yeah, you just saw some footage there, and I know we've come to the Australians now, and I'll be gutted and disappointed. But have a look at this. This is what touch is all about. Families out there together, the kids are coming out, and fantastic result. So that's it, Darren, from the men's 35s here at CX Stadium in Coffs Harbour. Congratulations to New Zealand, world champions. We'll be back shortly.